In the 1980s, the Arabian horse had a huge boom in popularity, and a lot of people with money got involved with them. The color black is rare in Arabian since it is a recessive gene. Dr. Ruth Schmidt and her partner Laverne started a breeding program to produce black Arabians that were suitable for showing and performance, but kind and good-minded enough for a family horse. Their farm was called Malabar Farms, and our breeding program is to preserve those lines, which have almost died out. The horses are early American foundation bred, which means all their ancestors were imported to the USA prior to 1944. The horses were primarily imported from England via Poland and Egypt. The EAF line is almost rare, with horses being imported by the thousands since then. We own 2 of the only 3 100% Malabar, 100% EAF stallions alive today.
I was on a horse before I could walk. My dad had horses, and I grew up just a horse crazy kid with horses of my own. And I've done a little bit of everything in the horse world. Jumping, dressage, barrel racing, pole bending, halter, you name it.
My name is Valerie Jaquist. Well, I didn't get into many horses until I was in my early 20s, and then I went to horseshoeing school and started learning how to shoe horses, and did that. I've been doing that for about 22 years. Got into endurance riding, which is, in a nutshell, going long distances over a prescribed course within a determined period of time. And I met Beth shortly after horseshoeing school.
And Valerie became my shoer, and that's how we met.
Beth had Demon, and I ended up riding him a lot. And he's a pretty cool horse. He's a lot of fun, and there should definitely be more horses like him in this world. So, it works out real well for me. It's really nice to get into doing something where you can improve on something. People need good horses in this world, and that's what we're doing.
I named him Demon after a horse that he was related to that I really, really liked. His name was Malabar Demon, so I wanted to kind of acknowledge that. The biggest challenge is getting our name known and getting our bloodline known. We're what they call preservationist breeders, and so we're breeding for a specific horse from a established line. So we're basically piggybacking on the success of others. The goal of a responsible breeder with any animal is to produce something better than you started with. And that's one of the reasons why we're really excited about Trey, because we looked for a year to find a mare to breed to Demon, and when we got her and he came out, we were just so delighted with how much better he is, and that's not to say that Demon's worse. It's just we're looking at a breed standard we're trying to adhere to, and what is going to appeal to people where they're going to want to spend money to buy them. So we're looking at a beautiful horse that can do a really good job and make you happy to be around it all day. And I really feel like he's got all that stuff in a nutshell in a very pretty package.
Yeah, he's a really nice young stallion. He is truly a pleasure to work with, and that's what we want. I mean, his dad's a pleasure to work with. Obviously, I've ridden Demon, his father's, thousands of miles, and I look forward to doing the same with Trey, and looking at the differences between the two of them, and what improvements we get with Trey over Demon. Which again, it's not about talking about there's anything wrong with Demon. It's just always striving to be that little bit better, that little bit more, that little bit faster, more responsive, doing whatever we're asking of them more closely to the standard for the breed or the competition we're engaging in.
The Malabar bloodline goes back to any horse imported to the U.S. prior to 1944. So they're basically the Mayflower Pilgrims of the Arabian world. And the significance of that is that the horses that were originally imported came straight from the desert, straight from the Bedouin trance and imported to the U.S. And that is important because the Malabar Arabians, because they don't have any what we call modern blood, is that their type is closer to the original Arabian horse, which was supposed to be hardy and strong and friendly and loyal and all these things because they grew up in the Bedouins' tents. And unfortunately, in the Arabian world, especially around the 1980s, it became a status symbol to have an Arabian horse. And the rich people that bought them didn't ride them. So they considered them to be living art. And so what that breeding program came in this modern blood is to make a horse that was gorgeous to look at, that looked like a painting, but really had some functional use flaws. So our Malabar Arabians are going back to this, what we call the early American Foundation breeding, but this specialty of that they come in the black color. And the black color is rare, and you have to actually try to get it because it's genetically recessive gene.
Yeah, well, colic is a general term for my stomach hurts. In horses, it frequently comes in several forms. Most common is what we call an impaction colic, means that something in there is stuck and can't pass. Sounds like from listening to him that that's probably what he has, is an impaction colic. We don't really know why they happen, but you can also get sand colic, which you don't really get around here because we don't have a whole lot of sand, we have dirt. If they get sand in their gut, that can cause them some pain. Also get gas colics, where they just need to fart. So, just a variety of things. And treatment can vary from as simple as, the vet will pass a tube and put some oil in his stomach and some water, get some liquid into him and get him oiled up, and he'll pass the impaction. Sometimes they do need to have surgery, especially if they have like a stone, because they get what we call enteroliths in their gut, and those, they get too big. The only way to get rid of them is to go in surgically and remove them.
Beginners should choose their horse not because of its breed, but because of its temperament and its personality and its kindness. Because you want a horse that's going to be very forgiving of all the mistakes you're going to make when you're a beginner. And so one of the reasons why I got devoted to this Malabar line is they are that. They are forgiving, and they are kind, and they are tolerant. but they're still going to be going out there and getting the job done. And you know, you can take them to a show and they'll win, or a ride and they'll do 100 miles, but they will like babysit your kid walking around the lawn too. And I think that's what horses should be. They shouldn't be just one thing. They should be able to do whatever you're doing that day.